Good evening, I am Console Operator and welcome to my stream. Tonight we are premiering a brand new game on the channel. That's right, it's brand new. Never played it before on the channel. It is Stormworks Build and Rescue. Yay! So Stormworks went to version 1.0 back in September last year. It spent 3 years in pre-alpha, in early release. With a lot of bug fixes, little nits and nats added to the game to enhance the game. A lot of optimization from the very beginning. I've had the game since it first came out on pre-release, and I love this game. I've got nearly 300 hours in the game. So when they went version 1, they released a roadmap. Well, they put a poll out as to find out what people wanted in the game. And December, they released a roadmap. So prior to that roadmap being released, to date, they've added some new stuff. So audio headsets, so you can sit in the seat and have an audio headset and talk to your fellow multiplayers, because it is a multiplayer game. It's awesome. It's got a career, it's got custom, it's got sandbox, and it's got multiplayer. So you can have different vehicles. So they had radios built in before alpha, and then they introduced a headset, so you can sit in any seat, and it's already got a headset on, and you'll be able to talk to it with your PTT button on your keyboard and just talk freely. They've updated all the transport and towing missions, so they're all new because they were a bit repetitive. I remember playing a game, I got the same mission twice. That was really frustrating. But they've enhanced that. They now have AI boats and AI aircraft. So they're just computer generated bots in the game. So as you're driving around or flying around, you'll encounter boats doing their own things. They are not interactive, so you can try and knock them off their path, but you can't, unless it's mission based, you can't interact with them. So that's a cool element. One of the things that they want to bring in later on down the track is interactive missions with those AI boats. So if you drive up next to one, you can have interaction between them. I'm not quite sure how far into that interaction they'll go, but it all depends on the mechanics of the game and what it allows, I guess. They've enhanced the fire. So towards the middle of last year, they introduced damage and fire, and when they went version 1, they brought in fire spreading. So that means you could have a fire on a vehicle next to a tree, and instead of the vehicle just being on fire, the fire would jump to the tree. As well as if you're in one of your large creations, if a fire was to start in the engine room, it would spread to the surrounding compartment and spread and literally just engulf the entire vessel or aircraft or vehicle that's on land. Cars, trucks, tanks, whatever you might have built. There's various things. I mean, there are a lot of vehicles on the workshop that are search and rescue based, but also military, everyday trucks, everyday cars. I saw one the other day, the Rubicon. Someone built that, and that was pretty cool. And it's really detailed, and the amount of time that creators spend on their creations is really to be commended, and I'll show you some of them once we jump into the game here. The other thing that they fixed was coaxial rotors. So they're rotors that behave like real rotors, whereas last time they were just on a pivot on a pole, and you hit something and the blade would just snap off, and that was it. But they've enhanced the coaxial. I haven't dabbled in that yet, but I want to. So coming up soon, they announced just the other day that they're very close to finishing nuclear power. So that's going to be really enhanced gameplay, because bringing on nuclear power adds a lot more sophistication to your creation. So earlier this year, about January, February, they released modular engines, so you could have 1x1, 3x3, or 5x5 pieces. So radiators, camshafts, you know, your cams and starter motors and stuff like that. So just to make you instead of having the generic motor that they had, these are now, you can customize it the way you want, and that was really cool. And one of the follow YouTubers, Mr. N Jersey, has a lot of tutorials out on how to get them to work. I haven't quite got the hang of it yet, but with more practice, I don't see it being an issue. And definitely, when we get into our own shipbuilding, because along this Let's Play, we're going to be playing a lot. We'll start with down small and we'll work our way up. Yeah, so by the middle of this year, they want to release steam engines. So that goes along with nuclear power. So that's heating the water, causing it to interact with its coolant and producing energy. Engines the same. They want to bring in coal, so you've got fuel. If you don't want to go the nuclear option, you can have coal-fired engines. Heat the water to turn the pistons and spin the turbines and whatever. They also want to, later on this year, they're going to release a DLC, a paid DLC for vehicle weapons. So that they're talking all different weapons for all different types of vessels, all different types of cars, all different types of tanks, planes. So that, it was one of the highest voted request for the game in the poll that they did in October. That they wanted weapons in the game. About 600 people voted that they didn't want weapons, to 3,000 people that wanted weapons. So it's their. They chose to go paid because they believe that not everyone wants it, so those who do want it can have it, but it won't be part of the base game. And then lastly, but towards the end of the year, they're going to have natural disasters. Now we already have tsunamis in the game. It came, that was one of their main things. So just a giant wall of water, and it's always fun to try. You get a creation off the workshop and trying to see if it'll survive a tsunami and stay upright and whatnot. So Komodo Gaming is a good one for that. He loves playing around with that. Moving on. One of the other things I want to bring in is sails. I want to put sails in the game to use wind to power your vessels, which would be really cool to see. I've seen a few creations on the workshop where they'll just use the 1x1 blocks and build a sail that way, but it doesn't quite have the same effect as having the wind blowing and being able to control which way your sails are pointing and where you're going and stuff. So seeing how they implement that will be really interesting. So anyway, before we get moving, if you do like my videos, if you do like what you see on my channel, please hit the follow button or hit the subscribe button on YouTube, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can get up-to-date information on my activities and when I'm live and when I'm streaming. Alright, let's jump into the game here. So here we are. So I've just picked off a ship off don't mind me, a ship off the workshop. I've just got it to go. We're currently on course to meet up with a stricken vessel. It's requested help. So that's where we're off to now. So these are the types of layouts. So up here we've got a weather. You've got our fuel. You've got our water depth. So there's a laser on the bottom of the boat that points towards the bottom of the ocean and gets a read on how far down it is. You know, you've got a heading marker, so we're heading 44 degrees, 43 degrees east. You got a gimbal and compass ball. You know, you've got your speaker for your alarms, all types of screens, and they are invaluable, totally invaluable. They help with all transporting all the data that you have to that's subscribed in the Lua script, which tells it what to say, what to display, and that is all based on code. Again, Mr. Angeji has spent a lot of time doing tutorials and explaining that. I'm nowhere near confident enough to dabble in Lua. I'll leave that to others, and I'll credit them to the work that they do. You know, so I mean, you are essentially a person in the game. It's very blocky, I should say, is I think the right way to say it. It's very blocked design. So as you can see, it's not all curved. They will have lines and whatnot. But I mean, it's for what the game is. It's brilliant. The game is fantastic. So here we are. We're on our way out to. We've got about 5k to go. So there's our radar. It's pointing towards the nearest landmark, which is over there behind us, where our base was. So there's not much. That's just reading basically where we are from home. So everything I'm in the creative mode, so everything is sandboxy. So you can change everything about this that you want. One of the things that I like to do is really put the wind up, put the rain up, and see how a vessel handles in the wild weather that they would usually be called out in because of the vessels get stuck or something. But you can also dial it down. So you go here, custom menu, override the weather, and literally turn the rain off, turn the water off, and it just goes dead calm, and you're smooth sailing. But it takes away from the realism of the game doing that. So let's put the wind back up, put the rain back up. There we go. So at the moment we've got about 5k to go before we reach our vessel, which seems to be in this little alcove. So there's always a on the map. It's a big map. There's a southern area and a Arctic area. It's about 100 k's between the two. I know, unrealistic. Please excuse the lag. My computer is actually a bit suffering. I have yet to experience lag with the game unless it's at the dock. So yeah, so you can travel from, say, the main island or mainland and go north to the Arctic. And when you get to the Arctic, it's cold, and there's a requirement that if you don't keep warm, you'll die. The same with if you're in the water, if you don't have oxygen, you'll die. So the game's got heaters, it's got Arctic wear, it's got oxygen masks, you know, scuba diving gear that you can all put on. It's got heaps and heaps of handheld items. That was one of the other add-ons that they had. So you had fire extinguishers, hoses, rope, binoculars. You have a flashlight on you. So if you go here and go F, not F. it's one of them. You'll have a flashlight turned on. So you can drive a vessel, pick up fuel. You can drive a tanker, pick up a diesel, oil, and take it to the refinery and get paid money for it. Yeah, so really this game is very sandboxy. The only thing you're limited to is money. So when you start out in your career, you start off at a small boat shed that you have to build to do your first group of missions, and then once you've done that, you'll take them person to the hospital, you will get money back. So it's not about that. It's a really good game, really is, and it's very immersive. So there's a lot of avenues you can take when playing the game. I personally, I prefer to do the missions and whatnot, but I prefer to do it in sandbox mode because I like to try out all the creations and do the missions with the creations, but I don't get any money, which is totally fine. So here we are. We've reached our vessel. If I could ever slow down. Whee. So my job now is to rescue 8 people and extinguish the fire. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rally up on the side once I can, get around. And then done. Now I'm going to get out of this one and hop over in this chair. And I'm going to on the right hand side of the left hand side of the screen, you can see all the commands that I can do. So I'm going to activate the water cannon, which I do believe is out the front, which is good. So WASD turret pitch. Turn the damn thing on. We just extinguish the fire ever so slightly. But the problem is that the fire will continue to spread as long as it's burning. There is no fine-tuning the cannon. It's just stock the way it is. Tab, we're going to put the spotlights on. So the spotlights are over here on there. Spotlight. Then we're going to move the spotlight. Where's the move the spotlight button? I saw it before when I was in here. It's not working. That's okay. Just got a little bit left to go to get out before we extinguish the fire. Alright, so we're going to hop out of the chair here. We're going to keep the thing there. We're going to get the firefighting equipment. We're going to go down here and out the door here. Down the hatch. Now, there's a fire extinguisher here. Done. Open the gate and we're going to go for a swim. Bit hot there. Alright, so we've got no people and we're going to go back over shore. Back to the boat. Up the ladder. Alrighty, and stop following, stop following, stop following, stop following. Done. Cool. So that's 4. I've still got 4 to get. Oop, bit too close to comfort there. Oop, where'd you go? On me. So I'm pushing it away. Evening, Dirk. How are you, mate? I'm pushing the boat away with the cannon, so I really need to jump back on and sort that out. And stop following. F. And we're going to take the neutral, put the reds up. We're just going to casually just follow it around like that. Yeah, that, it is a bit hard to do missions at night, but I guess it adds to the realism of the game. F, F, and then we go tab. We're going to readjust this. There we go. So just using the spotlight, just trying to see if we can get away on board. It's very heavily engulfed on the other side. So let's tab out. Let's go back over to the driver's seat. We'll reposition the vessel again. Oops. Alright. And because I'm moving it, I've got no one on the other side. The cannon has lost its mojo. And I'm at max rotation. Alright, let's go back. The casualty is believed to have died. Ah. Tab. 3. Try and go backwards. And engage the clutch. And we're going to swing it around. Try and get closer. And F, tab. Of course he's going to die if he's in here. It's hard on these missions because you're supposed to get under here, which is where the fire is, because the fire's over there. I mean, not exactly sure where I'm supposed to be putting the fire out. It's just blown up again. Alright, let's get the remaining people off. And then we're going to come up here. No, let's get her to the sick bay, or him to the sick bay. Get them dealt with. Alright. Stop following. Incapacitated. Alright. Store. Yep, that'll do you. Have a seat. Alrighty. Have a seat. Yeah, I know it's empty. Done. Cool. Alright, let's get out of here. We'll go over here. So unfortunately we still have to put out the fire, and it's been a pain in the butt. So, Dirk, do you play online, mate? 6, 3, again, hard rudder to the right, try and spin around and try and get some water in the back, through the back door. I believe there's someone in the water. That's the boy. No, maybe not. That's okay. So we lost 2 people. One's still on board, unfortunately. There was 8 to get. I think I have 6. I do. I lost 2. Bugger. Alright. So we'll get nothing from this mission because we failed it. Because we can't put that ship out. Unless someone has some bright ideas. Getting the water in that back door is pretty hard. Let's take the clutch off. Hard right again. Tab. Preferred. If I use the bow thrusters, I should be able to go. Yeah. Oh, yeah, little turn thrusters. I thought those thrusters on the side at the rear. My bad. Ah, wrong button. Wrong button. I've done that once before. I have. Not to worry. Not to worry. Follow, 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 follow. Map and yes. Fire has been extinguished. Rewarded $3,000. Well, I didn't really extinguish it, and I didn't take the people to the hospital. So, does that still? So that still sits there. Okay. So. That's interesting. So, one of the other cool features of this game is you can build your own planes, cars, boats and whatnot. But you also get to have a look what other people build. So this is one of in Jersey's, which is pretty cool. There's one on here. There's one on here that's off Star Trek. There it is. There's one off the original Star Trek, which was cool as well. So you have the ability to build whatever you want. So I'm going to hop out of here. And I'm going to go and obviously build a new one. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly change the date so I can the time. So there we go. So shift makes you run. So run like batshit crazy. Which is pretty cool. Okay, so E, we're going to open up, we're going to go and we're going to get the Krieger and have a look at the Krieger. So this is it here. So it's pretty cool. It looks very similar to the Armidale class patrol boats here in Australia for the Royal Australian Navy, but it's got very big differences, but it's very similar. So let's have a look at this. This might be cool. All right, let's have a look. So it's going to spawn, here it is, and we're going to jump on board with using shift to run and get a jump. There we go. Alright, so look down here. It's probably not the right way to get up here, but oh well. Let me put the door on the outside, which is cool. Alright, let's see. We're going to sit in here, we're going to have a look at these controllers. See the electrical systems, flares, bridge lights. Don't need any other lights there, so I'll hop out of that seat. So here we are. We've got a beak, we've got a strobe light, we've got a flare gun, we've got a flare gun ammo, and an extinguisher, and we've got space here to store other stuff as well that we want. This is our radio. Push to talk to the captain. So you've got a headset here. The captain would have a headset, and you can talk directly to the captain. You got a mobile radio you can take with you, and you got frequencies that you can broadcast over. So let's go and jump in the captain's seat. So here we are. So a spotlight if you want it. Another spotlight on that side. So we want bridge systems on. And we don't want the bow thrusters at the moment. So console light, radar power, map projector light, where's that? Oh, that's that one. No? It's not that one. Okay, heading projector. Sure, no worries. Alright, so let's see if we can make our way down to the engine. So I don't think the engine is fired up yet. So we're we're going to walk downstairs. Hello. There's a little light switch there. Which is cool. Alright, let's walk down another set. So that's the sick bay. Oh, sorry. Opening the door. The boat has gone missing without an exact location. Alright, so we'll go looking for that. So these are like crew cabins. 2 and 3 berth. I think down the front here we've got storage. Stairs to go up, laundry and stores. And the bow thruster. Bow thruster room. And the escape hatch. If you ever get stuck. It's always handy to have. Back through the laundry. Done. More cabins. There's a twin berth. Another twin berth. Okay. So back up here. Medical. Heaps of first aid kits for whatever you may need. Alright. Let's go back up here. Changing room, stairs, here we go. Engine room. Here's what I was looking for. And drop. Alright, here we go. So we've just got big hoofers. Put some lights on in here. So it's revving. Alright, here we go. So coolant pumps on. Going up to 100. And the ignition on. There we go. Do the same on the other side. Coolant pumps. Oil. Oh. The engines, generators. So this has been made with the modular engines because that's an air filter. The liquid air, liquid heat exchanger, the catalytic converter, the medium generator. Yeah. So this has been made with the modular engine units. Tachometer, battery, main battery, cylinder, crankshaft. Yeah. Cool. There we go. So now we can head back up to the bridge, and we can take it for a spin. How's everyone liking the game? Do you want to see more of it on my channel? Oh, that's the deck. No one out there. That's okay. So I'm open to ideas on what people want to do. We play this as a playthrough, or just a show off any creations that we find that we like on the workshop. You use them to do missions. So a targeting system. Let's see where that is. Aha, that's that one. Right. So that's that targeting system. So this means you can find it and at range finders. So 460 meters and 450. If we go around and we find the building, which is over there. The building is 108 meters behind us, which is pretty cool. So let's turn that off now. And we'll find out what this one. Oh, this is the water cannon one. Here we go. So we got the spotlight. I don't want IR. We want to turn the monitor on. Field of view. Let's see what the range on the cannon is. Yeah, not very far. So I'm guessing they've put the pump down the back and it's only being pushed out. So the closer the pump is to the end of your cannon, the more force that the water's going to come out of. So obviously that the pump for that's probably down the bottom here. And it's probably going up through the building, up yeah, down here. See there, the pumps there. So the pumps are down here and they're not really being used efficiently as what they could be. They could be further up the mechanism. You only want one pump on with an open end. So yeah, that's a bit of a shame. I get it, but it's good looking. Anyway, alright. Let's see what else there is. The galley. Some meat on the chopping block. Pot on the stove. Got the grill. Sink. Freezer. And the walk-in fridge. And your serving deck there. So this is pretty much like layout, just like the Arbadal. Yeah. Then you got the mess, and then you got the officer's mess. This is where the captain and all that eat. Also known as the wardroom. Out to the deck, you got uniforms and radios, flares, torches, first aid kits. That's alright. Stairs to go down, that's where we were before. And another empty space. With no door. Alright. Let's say we get this out and on the water. I'm stuck by something. Something's got me. So I think we see our first AI ship. Yeah, so that's an AI ship over there. That's not bad cargo vessel. Alrighty. So in this game, the devs have gone and added in the option to release a Megalodon. Welcome back, Dirk. As well as some smaller sharks. And these sharks do kill you. They will kill you. But the Megalodon goes about out of its way to literally destroy your vessel. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can try and outrun it, but it'll always it catches you. I haven't actually heard of anyone actually successfully outrunning the Megalodon to a point where the Megalodon loses interest. But I'm pretty sure there's people out there who have done that. Or they've just turned it off. But I'm pretty sure spawning a Megalodon it just goes away on its own, I guess. Somehow, some reason, this is going very slow for third gear. See. So about a top speed of about 19 knots, which is 19-20 knots. And it started raining again. So every now and again when you're in the water and you're just cruising about, you'll run into boxes and or crates, and you'll score kitching money credits that goes into your piggy bank to use when you're building. Do I like the Megalodon? To be honest, if I can avoid it, I will. I can't outrun the thing, and I don't like being left in the middle of the ocean. I personally, in real life, have a phobia of drowning, and which is why I kind of like the game, because it's artificial. But even just being in a game stuck out in the middle of the ocean just scares the crap out of me. So if I can get away with it, I won't touch it. But that's not to say it won't happen in a career mode. I don't play career mode very often, so I don't know if the Megalodon just appears out of nowhere just because it can, like the tsunami does. But I mean, things may change. If it doesn't do that, the devs might try and add that in. But if I can avoid it, I won't play with the Megalodon. What about yourself? Do you like to engage in combat with the almighty Meg? So what I'm doing now is I'm going to go down. I'm going to go back and pick up those people we left behind unintentionally. And then we'll try and have a look at that. Try and find that ship on the way to dropping these guys off. Yeah, so we've been doing about 20 knots, so it's going to take some time to get over to the mainland. So that's where we're heading. That's that island on the map. It's the mainland. So that's part of the mainland. So it's just one of the river systems in the mainland that this boat caught fire. And then we'll head down south. So that's a very big area to have to cover. There might be one or two islands. It might be shipwrecked on an island or something. So we'll pick up these folks and we'll head on down south. If you go into here, over on this side, you can have Spawn the Tsunami, and then also the Megalodon, and then you can also click any other thing that you feel like putting into your game, as this is the creative mode. So you can have infinite money turned off, and you still have to work towards what you've got in the bank. So I don't think I've got anything in my bank. Oh, hang on, I got 3,000. That's right, I got $3,000 off that fire. So that was all right. So it's getting very dark and gloomy because we haven't altered the weather. All we did was alter the time of day. So it's going pretty pear-shaped at the moment. It's just rain. It's not really wind. But I would have thought you can't have rain without the wind, as I experienced earlier today. Well, there's the lightning. Maybe the gods are listening in. God help them if they are. God help me. Alright, so we're coming up on the mainland. We're about 5k away, so that's not bad. So in relation to what we were 10k from there, from home base to the location, and the map is about 100 square miles, roughly. It's about 100 k's from the mainland to the Arctic. So, but I mean, this map will probably go south of what the mainland is. So when I say 100 square miles, it's 100 meters one way, 100k one side, 100k one side, 100k south, 100k north. And it could even go further, 100k north of the Arctic. I've never really played it out that way. I've gone to the thing. I don't know what I do, but every survival I become Megalodon. Yeah, so if you go survival mode, it's literally you're in survival mode trying to survive against everything. Tsunamis, storms, megalodons, sharks. Sometimes they're just in survival mode. It's like the ultimate test of survival. So I'm guessing that's why the megalodon's there. How far into the survival mode are you, time-wise, before you get the megalodon? Is it like straight away? Because if that would be really shitty. How's the stream on your end? Is it glitching on your end? Like, is it like a frame rate dropped, or? So we're going to go in the mouth of the river here and back underneath that bridge, just to pick up those folks. Hopefully they haven't all died. If they have, very disappointed. And I think we've got some AI ships about to cross our path. So let's go back. We'll get the binoculars up and we'll see if we can see them. So what do we got over there? So we've got a fishing trawler over there. And then if I tap out of that one, tap out of that one. Nope, can't see anything. Let's go down here. And we've got what looks like another fishing trawler over there. And then over there, yeah, another fishing trawler. So that one's really interesting. Okay, because there was one like that on this side as well. Oh yeah, it's going behind the other ship. The other boat. There it is. like a little pleasure craft. Alright, let's hop back in here. I think the chair's up too high, to be honest, because you can't see out the window. Can't even tell where I'm going. So on the radar on this side, you've got 1 vessel, 2 vessel, 3 vessel, and then this line here is our trajectory. So we're currently on course to plough into the side of the bridge instead of underneath the bridge. So we'll just course just a little bit. It might have something to do with the wind pushing us towards the bay, but it's okay. There we go. So now we're on course just to slide underneath that bridge. We'll hold this heading, and then we'll go in, pick up those young folk, and try and get them to a hospital. Alrighty, so our radar is also picking up the island now. So this green is the island and the blue is the feedback from it. So the lure script in Stormworks is really, it's very diverse. You can write any lure script you want for anything that you want in the game, from showing art, moving art, to incorporating the different sensors and screens in the book, in the catalog, to incorporate into your builds, to do anything. I mean, there's a lure script out for Azipods. So the rotating, instead of having to have a rudder, you rotate the propeller on a pod, much like the Queen Elizabeth II, or the Queen Mary II. So there's a script to do that just off a touchscreen. You can, the way the game is built, you can do that. Like I said before, I'm not good with lure scripts, so I wouldn't have a clue how to do it, but it's there and to be played with, I guess. I guess the only way you're going to get any better at it is to try and practice, and if you don't succeed the first time, try again, I guess. So here we are, we've entered the mouth of the river here. That little pleasure craft has gone into the distance. Still got the fishing trawlers behind us, and our home base directly behind us, and we're just cruising up the river now, going to pick up those people. There's a lot of hurry up and wait in this game, because you do have to get from one point to another. If you're battling high seas, then it's a lot more engaging and you've got to be more hands-on. But I mean, if it's weather like this and you're going at a steady pace, there's not much else to do except just wait and keep an eye on things, much like a real skipper. A chopper or plane is a lot more hands-on because you're constantly flying it. You're always in control of it, unless you got autopilot on, and you got auto hover or another system that can take over the controls, like altitude hold and heading hold and all that to keep it where it's going, and you don't have to keep touching the keyboard. I remember I stepped away for about 2 hours one day, and I just put the ship on autopilot, heading in one direction, just see how far on the map I could get in 2 hours, and I was going 3/4 of the throttle, so 75%. And yeah, it covered a lot of ground, but I was just it's just that is the only way you're going to explore an entire map seed, is to literally just drive and drive and drive. Problem is, now that they've brought in fuel requirements and stuff like that for the modular engines, you're gonna have to refuel. So it brings in another element. You can't drive for hours and hours and hours on end with endless fuel, unless you're in a creative mode with infinite fuel turned on. It's very, what's the right word? The way you play the game depends on how long your game lasts. Gone are the days where it just says game over. Game over. You die. You start back at the base, and you lose your boat unless you save it. But there's no guarantee that you're going to get your money back when you die. So you start again. It's kind of like game over, but you choose the way you play the game. I think that's what makes Stormworks so appealing to a lot of players, because it is so do it your own way type of thing. So we're drifting off course a bit. Guessing the weight of the ship, because the ship is listing to the left, listing to the starboard side. Starboard? Yeah. No, port. It's the bow, that's the stern, that's the port, starboard. So it's listing to the port side. Sorry about that. So it's gravity dictates that when you're listing over and you've got a straight edge, it'll curve. That's just the way it happens. As you can see, I'm curving now. But I'm not. It's not that big of a curve, so it's all right. We'll get under this bridge and we'll pick up the little people we dropped off, left behind, and get going. It looks like their boat's still there. Yep, it is. But it looks like it's out. The fire's out. I suppose that's a plus. Alright, hopefully none of them got taken by sharks or anything. Contact forward. So, here we are, making our way under the bridge. Whoop. Alrighty. And see, over on the pillar just there is a box, and that will have coins in it. So, that's alright. I think that's one I've got before. So Stormworks will be a constant feature on my channel. I'll be playing a lot of different things. I may even start a crew build, So basically, I'll try and build my very first vessel, and hopefully and we'll get help from players and followers and watchers all along. So just bringing the engines down to idle. There we go. I'm going to hop out of here. Go down here. Whoops. Go down here. Changing room, stairs. Outside. It's alright. There they are over there, so I'm going to jump. And we're going to get them all to follow. Because I did heal them before I dumped them. Might not have been the smartest idea. I thought I was cleaning up the burning vessel, but I pressed the wrong one. So we need to grab this guy. There we go. Alright, let's go, guys. I think you've been stuck out in the water long enough. I have come to get you, and get you I shall. Alright, so the props are still turning, so it's going to be cruising ahead a bit. So we're going to try and get up here on this deck. There we go. And F. And I'm going to put them in the officer's mess. Oh, that lighting is very bright. Yep, you can go there. What? They not follow? Could they not get out of the water? They can't get out of the water. put it in too hard basket, why don't you? No, stay there. Don't move. Unfortunately, we have to go and get somebody else. Yeah, so I think they're supposed to be enhanced realism. So you'd have your ship one place, your base one place, and then you'd have to cover a whole heap of area. But like for a space of mainland, and you'd have more than one place to more than one base, which I think is what they're trying to do. Where'd the body go? Where's the body here? Okay, that's super weird. Alright, let's go. But yeah, they are. I mean, like you would cover the distance between the base and here in no time. What is that? Oh, there he is. Thank you. Oh my god. E. Wee, here they all are. And go and get the other two. I must have lost one in the water. Did anyone see the other guy? I had 6. I counted 6. I was over at this boat. Oh my god. I knew I had 6. What on earth is he doing over there? Follow me. Oh god. Anyone would have thought that they'd like, I wish they'd give the AI some sense instead of just being like mindless twats. Alrighty, let's go. Shut this door behind us. There we go. Put you there. Done. Alright, let's go. Let's get out of this estuary and go to the nearest hospital, which I think is further up the river. F tab M. Let's go up here. Let's escape out of that. Let's put the engines up. Full power. I went wrong way. Alright, so I know that there's a hospital on here somewhere. I just gotta find it. What I will do is I'm going to save my game. That way, if something goes wrong, I can always revert back to the save game. Don't think it's up there. Oh, and I'm listing again. So there's obviously a ballast problem with this game because I am listing to the side. And I've hit some problems. I think I ran out of fuel. If I ran out of fuel. I think I ran out of fuel, gentlemen, ladies and gents. That is really embarrassing. And we're going to hit the side here. Yeah, I've got no starboard starboard engine. And here we are, about to run aground. Alright, let's tab out. F. No, it's not this way, it's the other way. So we've got an engine trying to restart. For some reason it's not restarting, so I'm going to grab a welding torch. Something might have broken. I need to fix something. Is this on? Alright, I've got one engine rolled back. What do we got? Fuel pressure, nothing. Tactometer is running hot. Let's turn that off. Crankshaft temp, main battery, fuel oil, exhaust pumps. Automated fuel balancing should be on. Freshwater tank gauge is 541 litres. 541 litres. We are listing really badly. I think that might be our day, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, I don't see a way to come back from this unless I go home and get a crude carrier and refuel this. Now that'd make for an interesting episode. That really would. Let's see what's down here. This generator's not working. This generator's got 31. Right. We are sitting ducks, but I can't find the fuel. Alright, we are all off. So if we start this. Alright. Let's see if we can find a refueling station on board. If we can find a refueling station on board, then it'll be sweet. Don't flip over, please, please, please don't flip over. And you did. Damn it. Well, gentlemen, ladies, thank you all for watching. I hope everyone liked the first showcase of Stormworks Build and Rescue on my channel tonight. As I said earlier, this will be a reoccurring game on my channel. I reckon it's just an awesome game. If you liked the game, if you want to see more on my channel, give me a comment, give me a message. All my socials will be on are up on my Twitch, on my YouTube. Tonight I experimented. I streamed not only straight to Twitch, but I also streamed straight to YouTube. So go ahead, subscribe to my